As the prophet of esports, I rely on trustworthy and meaningful data every day. Data from our research partner YouGov offers the most complete view of esports fans and gamers in the world, providing context to who they are, what they think, the brands they buy, and things they do. YouGov's connected insights and research services inform strategy at every level. If you're a team, a brand, agency, or rights holder, you should be talking with YouGov. Their partners measure and maximize ROI and are telling compelling stories with data. Visit yougov.com/gaming-esports to learn more.
A little bit of a related story, and I was going to keep this for the lightning round, but I think I want to just put it here because it makes sense here. And this is an article that could be maybe very controversial, we may have nothing to say, but this is Josef Fares, who in an interview basically said he doesn't think games need to be fun to succeed. And my frustration with this interview and this article, frankly, he gives examples of games that, the mechanics and the interactivity is what, is the key to the experience. And he gives examples, but I feel like he does not really say anything, doesn't provide an alternative solution other than the fact that he says games don't need to be fun to be successful. And so I'm curious, you think he's totally off, and maybe in the context of the other story, right? Where does this factor in for you? He's totally wrong. He's totally right. And what is the alternative argument if you believe he's right? How do we measure success or predict success? Lindsay, I don't know if you have any thoughts.
No, I'm trying to think about this because this is the total antithesis of what we usually talk about. And games need to be fun. I'm trying to think of any parallel industry, and I guess you could say that there's some parallels between the movie industry in that a lot of the movies that have been successful over the past years have not necessarily been that original or that interesting. A lot of them have been kind of big budget churn films. And there is a point to be sort of made about, repackaging very similar IPs and just sort of getting people to spend their money on the same game in a different format. It's just, I don't know. This isn't very exciting to read. It's very soulless. And it's amazing that even the prophet, who is all about making the profit, is this is too soulless compared to your usual argument of games should be fun. Because
he's wrong. He's wrong. Right. And this is someone who has made very successful games, right? It Takes Two won a bunch of awards. It, I think, did quite well, but he's just wrong. The problem in my mind is he didn't provide an alternative explanation, right? Okay, if it's not about being fun, what is it? And he tiptoes around it.
That's what I kind of didn't get either. Are you just making games that make money then? I would assume that that's the alternative, but then you're just making mobile games.
Knowing Josef Fares' background, and I feel like he's been a little bit of an iconoclast. He's one of these auteurs. I wonder if this is maybe we're not getting the full context here, because when I first saw the headline, I was like, this guy, they're talking about blockchain, right? And we've always all been hey, the games have to be fun. I think we don't need to litigate that. We agree. I wonder if maybe he means game doesn't have to be uplifting and fun. It could be hey, this is an experience of you're in a horror game and it's you love the story, whereas the mechanics themselves aren't fun, but you're just being taken into a very deep narrative driven story, and it's the experience itself rewarding, but it's not minute to minute fun. And obviously I have no idea if that's what he means, but maybe there's some context that we're missing here.
It's a great point, because he does use the example of feeling a loss in a game.
Yeah.
But this is really that down to semantics then, and the headline then is total clickbait, totally misleading, and just bad overall, right? If that's the case, if it's just a subtlety of language and fun equating to just pure joy as opposed to something
it's
engaging.
Watching a sad movie might not be fun throughout, but you're oh well, okay,
but you finish the sad movie and you go, that was a fun way to spend my 2 hours, right?
Yeah,
if you really like the movie. Yeah. I mean, it's like semantics of language. Jimmy, I don't know if you had any thoughts here.
Literally, the one thing they need to be is fun, and that's why they're called games. Like not a lot to add to it. I think we're all on the same page here.
I just want to get caught up on comments here. Chris says Dragon Ball sure helped Arc Systems. Yeah, I mean, good, like I said, good IP can. There's no question, but it's not a guarantee. Owen says, "Hey guys, hope everyone is well. Great panel at PAX, by the way." Owen, thank you so much, and thank you for being there. Owen says, "No shot." Jeff plugged his Twitter handle and his Discord name. I don't know why you think this is surprising. At Jeff Cohen 23, go follow the juice.
I mean, I'm getting follow. I think my follower count like doubled. I started this.
I mean, it's directly proportional to his self-esteem, so everyone just keep adding to that.
I mean, I have like 400 followers, so I'm not exactly a big head yet.
Owen says he's going for the clout. I can only respect it. There you go. I mean, Jeff already has clout, Owen, so I don't know if SEO says he's laughing. Chris says the skills platform proves that you need your games to be fun to be successful. Oh, I think this was a shot at skills. But yes, I think I think we all agree with that. And this was either misunderstanding or total clickbait. Either way, I think everyone agrees it has to be fun.